My friends, every person here that's not 100% happy, including myself, is not doing something because of judgment of somebody else. Connections on LinkedIn would blow your mind. It's most similar to 2007, 2009 Twitter. It's most similar actually to 2011 to 2013 Facebook. And I couldn't be more passionate for the whole room, because what's been even more interesting to me as I've gone deep in the last 6 months, even non-business content, like if you sell meal plans, posting on LinkedIn right now is remarkable organic reach. And I couldn't be more passionate, definitely, to push everybody who's in the B2B world here, because the ROI on acting like a media company and not an advertiser on LinkedIn, I'll get into that in a minute, is staggering and genuinely will go away. Because this is one big game of cat and mouse, one big game of cops and robbers. The organic reach is through the roof right now. Feel it, we start working it, it starts getting talked about. This room starts doing it, just supply and demand of attention. It starts growing, ads start penetrating in, ad prices start going up, and then the marketplace becomes proper, like Google AdWords is today compared to 2002.
Patience is real. You're at the top one day and the bottom the next. You do you. You get one life. If there's anyone on this earth that has succeeded that looks like you, that means you can too. Make every penny work like a dollar. If you outwork someone, you can control this variable. Work harder, go to less happy hours, watch less TV shows. If you complain about what you want professionally, there's a way to fix it. If you complain, you can have anything if you fight for it.
I always believe that you can't slow down winners. If we're competing in that market, it's not that I'm gonna look at what you're doing. Like, I'm not the kind of person that will look at what you're doing, appreciate it, and try to add that to my game, which I think a lot of people do well in sports and business. My thing is that I'm so focused on what I'm doing, and I'm making assumptions that you're gonna do great too, and that there's so much abundance. Do I want to lose a pitch to you for Nike Southeast Asia? Absolutely not. Do I think that there's 95% of other people that stink? If somebody's good, they deserve to win business? I absolutely do. I think it's very bad business to suppress or be petty with other winners. I watch people do it with me all the time, and I laugh. I'm like, your keyboard hate is not gonna stop my growth. It's super common. I would argue keyboard hate fuels my growth. The most important thing for speed for your company and your service is your internal culture. The number one thing that will make your company go fast is continuity and lack of politics, which means we are on the dawn of the era where emotional intelligence, you better go home and audit every single employee you have, and you better figure out which employee makes the other employees miserable. So I implore a tech-centric, financial-centric, type A room like this to go home and get really in tune with your feelings. In my company, the number 2 person is not the CFO or the CEO. The number 2 person after me is Claude Silver. She is the Chief Heart Officer. She's the head of HR, call it what you want. It is no question the biggest variable to our success. It is never, and I mean ever, been more important for you to care about the internal feelings, culture.
You know, it was funny. And this is where I give my parents enormous credit. And it's funny, it's a business book that says self-awareness. My parents grew up, and I give them so much credit, in a world where all their contemporaries, and you know this, education's the way out for immigrants. My mom recognized that I was a merchant, an entrepreneur. School failed me. School's failing entrepreneurs every single day because it's not built for entrepreneurship. It's built for workers. As a matter of fact, my biggest cynicism when I sit across an entrepreneur today is if they are too successful at school. I probably look at Ivy League grads starting startups right now with more of a negative light, because what I've learned over the last 5 to 7 years, and by the way, in the last 2 to 3 years, I've taken a step back on this because there's too many entrepreneurial friends who've gone to great schools that have been successful. So this is not a blanket statement, but I will tell you that in a world of private schools, in a world of mommy and daddy having a lot of connections, that when you go from 12, 15, 18 years of that ecosystem and you go into a market and you create an app, the market doesn't give a crap who your dad is. The market responds to your product. And a lot of these kids have not been able to take the punch in the mouth that comes along with entrepreneurship.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more content.